All new at 5:30, leaders in the House and Senate are laying out their priorities just a few weeks ahead of the General Assembly's return to the State House.
The legislative conference marks the unofficial start of the 2014 session. RTV6's Katie Hines has details from the Indiana Convention Center.
One issue that will come up during the next legislative session is the business personal property tax here in Indiana. The governor is proposing the state phase it out, but lawmakers on opposite sides of the aisle are at odds.
Unfortunately, there's a potential to shift the tax burden to consumers and to workers and to the middle class. And there isn't necessarily a demonstrable benefit to the business tax climate.
One of the remaining impediments to job creation here in our state, with the exception of Kentucky, we're alone in the Midwest with a business personal property tax. This impacts some employers quite significantly.
All businesses pay the tax on their equipment. It generates about $1 billion annually for local communities. Much of the discussion at Thursday's legislative conference centered around the state's economic climate. Both Democratic and Republican leaders mentioned investments in infrastructure and developing the skills of the state's workforce as priorities.
More is yet to be done with a stubborn, now 7.5% unemployment rate, and yet tens of thousands of job openings in the state. It's quite clear that Hoosier workforce is not prepared for a portion of the Hoosier workforce is not prepared for 21st century jobs.
We have job openings here in Indiana and not enough qualified workers to fill them. Together, we need to address that problem.
Several of those priorities are issues the governor hopes to address in the next session. Well, details from the governor's address coming up tonight at 7. For now, we're at the Indiana Convention Center. Katie Hines, RTV6.